Yesterday, the Warriors just won the Memphis Grizzlies, and this makes the NBA playoffs a lot more interesting. So I'm just gonna recap the two games that happened yesterday, and as the Chicago Bulls are getting destroyed right now, and preview a little bit the next series of the Warriors and Rockets. So if you haven't checked out my previous NBA predictions for the whole playoffs and play-in, you can check that. Just made that video a few days ago, so you can go to my videos and check it out. By the way, I have a TikTok, Instagram, and Discord. Link in the description along with my Twitter if you want to see some NBA news and more of that stuff. But yeah, let's get into the video. So first, let's talk about the Warriors versus Grizzlies game. Now that game was a really great game. Warriors were up a ton in the first half with a barrage of three-pointers. Great performance by Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry in that game, but the Grizzlies clawed their way back, even had a late lead in the fourth quarter, but Stephen Curry closed out the game with two three-pointers, and he had a really good 37 points, along with Jimmy Butler having 38, combining for 75 points for the Warriors. Both of these players are playoff risers, and especially Jimmy Butler, who, in the regular season, you can see that he's been passive, but in these playoff playing type games, you can see he's a lot more aggressive, like actually trying really hard, and he has been really good the past few games. The game which is the Clippers, he was also very good. I believe had 30 points, and he just like running into the rim, dishing it out to players who were shooting threes, and they were doing well. For the Grizzlies side, Ja Morant was injured with an ankle injury but came back. And Desmond Bane was their best player in this game, at least offensively. He had 30 points, great shooting, and he was like one of the only players who consistently got a shot. And then Ja Morant also did well. He made a lot of shots in the paint with his penetration, but it was not as good as the Warriors who won this game, and this shows like the Warriors are like pretty good and have a decent shot at winning some series. But let's go really quick over the Magic Hawks game where the Magic really stifled the Hawks offense, especially Trae Young. He did not shoot it well from the field. And for the Magic, they were making a ton of their threes early in the game, got out to a big lead, and then the fourth quarter again, Cole Anthony, 26 points in just 20 minutes. Anthony Black with great defense on Trae Young. Paolo and Franz didn't have the best games, but they kept them afloat, and the Orlando Magic could make it a tough series for the Boston Celtics. I still have Boston in 5 or at most 6, but Orlando has the second best defense in the league and 2-1 record in the Celtics, and they have had success versus the Celtics, the second best team since 2022 versus the Celtics. So the Orlando Magic could give a little bit of a tough, at least first round for the Boston Celtics. Going back to the Warriors and the Rockets side, the Warriors are not a typical 7 seed. A typical 7 seed is like the Orlando Magic, who is a solid team, but Celtics probably going to win. But for the Warriors versus Rockets, the Warriors are actually favored in this matchup just by really little because of their experience, having Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, alongside pretty solid depth. Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody were really solid. Gary Payne II, Quentin Post, Kevon Looney, they have solid depth. But I still think that this series will be very competitive. I have the Warriors in 7 if you didn't see my previous video. But the Rockets have had decent success against the Warriors, especially in their last game they played against each other. Amin Thompson clamped up Stephen Curry to only 3 points. And the Rockets are really good defense. They are known for their defense. A lot of great defenders like Amin Thompson, Tari Eason, and Dylan Brooks, alongside having Steven Adams, who is a really good rebounder and will definitely, with that Şengün Adams lineup, he will get a ton of offensive rebounds because the Warriors are pretty small. They have Draymond starting at center, I believe, and then Kevon Looney, Quentin Post play a little, but Quentin Post doesn't play much, and Kevon Looney is not as tall. So I believe that Adams will get a ton of rebounds. But I just think that the Rockets' offense might be the reason they lose this series because the Warriors also have a great defense, anchored by Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, and Gary Payton II right there for their defense. And the Rockets, I mean, their offense has not been that good this season. Jalen Green has been inconsistent. Van Vliet also. But Şengün has been all right. But, you know, I think the Warriors will be able to defend all of those players. Jalen Green, Şengün, and them. So I think that the Warriors will win. But if this is going to be a defensive matchup, I believe, like the Rockets and the Warriors both have great defenses. Unless, Curry goes off, which he might. But the Rockets have shown that they have been able to guard Curry. But then we haven't seen Jimmy Butler playoff Jimmy against the Rockets. So, yeah, I just think that would be a really great series. And if the Warriors win and the Lakers win, that will set up another insane matchup in the second round, a repeat of the 2023 NBA playoffs, second round, Warriors versus Lakers. And that will probably get a ton of ratings, ton of views, and will be very exciting as well. Luka and LeBron versus Steph and Jimmy. But, we'll have to see after the first round. But it's definitely really possible now than if they lost this play-in tournament. And then just looking towards the future play-in tournament games, Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies will go against the Kings or the Mavericks. I believe the Grizzlies will win that one. They have looked pretty good, and yesterday wasn't their best game, especially for Jaren. He wasn't that good offensively, at least. And I feel like the Grizzlies have an upper edge against both of them, have a solid defense with Jaren and Edie, alongside with a pretty good offense as well. So I hope that the Grizzlies that make the playoffs, because if the Kings or Mavericks make the playoffs, they would not make it competitive, but the Grizzlies will at least make it a competitive series against the Thunder and maybe take a few games off of them. It will be a tough series for them too. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. We're out.